Great. Just listen to her.
At the tone, please re-record your message. At the end of your message,
welcome. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're starting time now. Do I have Dr. DuBois with me?
Yes, sir. I'm right here.
Hooray! Well, just welcome to the world tonight. Obviously, as you can hear, they're checking in from all over the world. I heard Australia and all through Canada and the U.S., so we just welcome everyone this evening, and just a joy to have all of you with us tonight. For those of you who I have not met personally, I know there are a lot of new people on the line. I'd like to start by introducing myself. My name is Cortese. I'm a National Marketing Director with the Juice Plus Company, and I've had really the honor and privilege and great prosperity, but especially great happiness of being with this company now 28 years. And so that's amazing to me. It's a wonderful adventure and one that only continues to get better all the time. Many of you know we've been meeting like this every Monday night for over 25 years. We've not missed a Monday night. So it's a wonderful way to stay connected, to really learn together and grow together, just get great information as far as our health and well-being, and also our business growth and development together. We've been very fortunate over the years to have great speakers come to us, and no greater than the one we have tonight. He's been with our company for some time, and the company itself, as many of you know, is actually 44 years old. We started way back then. I was not with them then. I know Dr. DuBois was not either, but they actually started with smoke detectors. We were the company that invented smoke detectors for the home, and obviously set a pace for what was a very successful and continues to be a very successful company in bringing great products to the marketplace and to people in their homes. We diversified over the years going into the field of water filtration and air filtration, and almost 24 years ago now entered the field of health technology with Juice Plus and the Juice Plus family of products. So if you look at our history, our product lines have always been for the health and well-being and safety of the population, and that's not just the U.S., that's worldwide. Always, you know, just a great track record for success in bringing the best to other people. As I said, we've been very fortunate to have the best people come to us as speakers, and tonight our speaker is someone that we not only admire a great deal but love dearly. I feel very blessed to say that he and his wife are, you know, close friends, but we all in our company feel that way because they extend that open arms of friendship to everybody and support, not only with their knowledge but with their readiness to help and be there for any and everybody that needs them. But Dr. DuBois is someone very special to us, but tonight you'll see why. Just to give you a little background on our speaker, Dr. Richard DuBois is a board-certified physician of infectious disease who has just retired from a very active practice in Atlanta, Georgia, which he had been involved in since 1968. His career is highlighted by many awards, honors, and proclamations of prestige from his colleagues. He is the past president of the Georgia Society of Internal Medicine and of the Infectious Disease Society of Georgia. He is the past president of the Medical Association of Atlanta. He has held national medical offices and published many manuscripts in peer-reviewed medical journals. He has been selected by his peers as one of the best doctors in America every year since 1994. In surveys by Atlanta Magazine, the doctors of Atlanta chose Dr. DuBois as the doctor they would choose for their own care if they themselves were sick with any infectious disease, including HIV. Dr. DuBois has been awarded the Award of Excellence in Teaching at Atlanta Medical Center, where he was chosen Most Valuable Physician, and reelected to 8 years as Chief of Internal Medicine. He was a medical staff member there for 36 years. He's retired from active medical practice, which has allowed him to influence thousands of people with the message of how better nutrition can help maintain health and decrease the risk of disease. So there's no one better really to turn to for knowledge about not only your health and well-being, but our product line as well and how that affects your health and well-being. So Dr. DuBois, let's talk about that tonight as our health and well-being. And first I would like for you to share with people how you yourself came across Juice Plus, why it was impressive to you, and how you evolved to the point where you really are on a mission with all of us to tell the world about this product.
I'm very happy to do that, Cheryl. My whole practice of infectious diseases totally changed in 1980 when HIV came along. And instead of saving lives in dramatic fashion, it was a question of watching people die because we didn't have anything we could do for patients for over 5 years. And there were years when I lost over a patient a day. But what I learned from my patients was those that had the best nutrition did the best with their HIV infection. And I literally didn't know anything about nutrition at all, and most doctors didn't at the time. But I started to recommend better nutrition to my patients, especially whole food, plant-based nutrition. And I began to see some really good results. And, of course, by the mid-'90s, we had a lot of good medications that were coming along. We were beginning to make a difference in those patients. But a colleague of mine, an ophthalmologist, told me about Juice Plus. Ophthalmologists were the first ones to pick up on it because of the importance of phytonutrients in macular degeneration. So they were the first ones to see that it might really be of value. And when I saw it, concentrated fruits and vegetables in capsule form, I knew it was ideal for my patients because so many of them had diarrhea and nausea and vomiting, and they simply couldn't get the nutrition they needed. And Juice Plus could allow them to bridge the gap. So it wasn't sold in the store, so to facilitate patients getting it, I became a distributor right away. And I never looked back. I've got some patients still alive today that were near death's door in 1993, 94. And they're still thriving today, and they're still taking Juice Plus. It's really wonderful.
Well, it's exciting for all of us, I think, over the years. I've not missed the product a day, and we've had it, I guess, right at 24 years now, and really feel like it's given me my edge as far as my own health is concerned. And I know we all feel that way, and we love telling people our stories because we're excited about our own health, and we're proud of the fact that it makes a difference for people. But I think when it really comes down to it, the thing that proves it to the world is not just the stories we tell about our own health, but the research. And from everything I've heard over the years, we are the most researched nutraceutical product out there. And so maybe we could talk about that tonight, because I think it's always so impressive. And, of course, as a layperson, I really would not even personally be able to read some of the research because the words are so big, but fortunately you can.
Well, it is the research. It's the results and the research that make people so loyal to Juice Plus, but in particular that really attracts the healthcare community who recommend Juice Plus to their patients in 24 countries around the world. But you see, Juice Plus is food. If it was a dietary supplement, the label by law would have to say supplement facts, but the label says nutrition facts. So the FDA and the USDA recognize that Juice Plus is not a dietary supplement, it's food. But we are not competing with the food industry. In fact, it is our message to tell everybody we know to consume more whole food, plant-based nutrition, but also to bridge the gap between what it is they should be eating and what it is they are able to consume every day, and they bridge the gap by adding Juice Plus. So our job with research was to establish we really are food, and we do in the body the same thing that food does, and we're talking about whole food, plant-based nutrition. And so we don't have to prove the value of fruits and vegetables. We have to prove that we are fruits and vegetables. There's a lot of products out there that go out and they get They pick up the groceries from the grocery stores that haven't been sold, and they grind them up, paying no attention at all to quality, and they call that something that's good for people. And the thing about Juice Plus is they take the time and effort for vine-ripened produce and to put it into capsule form at a very low temperature, so none of the nutrition's lost. And we prove that by proving the results that are there, that we are fresh and we are very high quality, and the phytonutrients and antioxidants are still present in those capsules. And the fact that we carry the NSF certification, which is the top line of quality and integrity of ingredients that can possibly be placed on a food or a product of any sort, and Juice Plus has that NSF certification. So our job is to prove that we impact aspects of physiology that are associated with aging, disease, and death. And that's what whole food plant-based nutrition does, and we've proven that that's what Juice Plus does.
Well, and it's exciting because, again, to be associated with, the happiness that goes along with people having great results, but to know through research that those results come about for very specific reasons is also very empowering, I would say, to all of us. We know that Juice Plus, really that research sets us apart from everything else that's out there, but maybe you can tell us how the Juice Plus company goes about the research, because sometimes I think people find that very interesting.
Well, we've got 29 research institutions, very highly reputable institutions around the world that have done research on brand name Juice Plus. The same capsules that you and I take are the same capsules that are taken in the research studies. Most of them are double-blind, placebo-controlled. That means gold standard research, because that's what the scientific community expects to have. And it's high-quality research. We've got over 29 reputable institutions around the world that have engaged in research. And the company gets several offers per week or requests per week to do research on Juice Plus, because our name is a brand name now and people recognize it. And food research scientists around the world are anxious to do research with Juice Plus because of the high quality of the research that precedes it.
Well, the research itself, as you know, we've all learned about it over time, and even just the general information that a layperson like myself would have is very exciting to share. But we'd love to hear you summarize, some of the results of the research that we do have in place already, because I know it's ongoing as well. As you said, so many people do want to research it. But tell us a little bit about what's happened so far.
Well, the first thing that they did was say, well, we know the phytonutrients and antioxidants are in there, but are they bioavailable? When a human eats them, do they get into the bloodstream where they can impact the physiology? Because it's not going to help you resist disease and maintain health if it doesn't get into your body. There are 18 separate studies on 4 different continents that shows every time it's been studied, Juice Plus is bioavailable to the human body. And that's all ages. There are a dozen studies, 12 separate studies, that show Juice Plus reduces oxidative stress, once again, in the human body. Now, according to the New England Journal of Medicine, oxidative stress, the bottom line of these free radicals in your body that is part of your metabolism, the bottom line is aging, disease, and death. If you want to impact that bottom line, you've got to reduce oxidative stress, and Juice Plus has been shown to do that in the human body in over a dozen studies. The other thing that's very important, of course, is your DNA. You want to keep it intact. You don't want to damage your DNA, because that leads to cellular malfunction, it leads to cancer, and it increases your rate of aging when you damage your DNA. And Juice Plus has 4 separate studies that shows it reduces DNA damage in the human body. There are 4 separate studies that show Juice Plus supports a healthy immune system. People with immune systems under stress were given Juice Plus and return their immune systems back to normal whereas the placebo groups had no improvement at all. 4 separate studies show effectiveness and safety for athletes in reducing oxidative stress and reducing absenteeism during athletic performance. We've got 3 studies that show improvement of cholesterol metabolism, not only lowering total cholesterol, but reducing the damaged cholesterol, because it's not the total cholesterol that causes vascular disease, it's the damaged cholesterol that gets deposited in the blood vessel walls. We call that oxidized LDL. 2 separate studies showing improvement of skin health in women. All of these are double-blind, placebo-controlled studies, and those ladies all said thank you. We've got 6 studies that show Juice Plus lowers a toxic amino acid in the bloodstream called homocysteine. It's an independent marker of your probability of death from any cause, and every time it's been studied, Juice Plus has shown improvement of the homocysteine in each of the studies to very safe levels. We got 1 study each for periodontal health, for cancer and children. The children's study was in 6 to 10-year-old boys that were taking the pediatric serving, which is 1 capsule of Orchid and 1 capsule of Garden Blend. And in 6 months, they had reduced abdominal fat mass. They were obese boys, and the placebo group actually had increased abdominal fat mass. They had reduced insulin resistance. 6-year-old boys shouldn't have insulin resistance. That's the first step to adult-style diabetes, but that's the state of pediatrics in America. And improvement of cancer survivors' health and protein status, which was a very important study from MD Anderson. And if you look at the aspects that cause cardiovascular disease, such as oxidative stress, chronic silent inflammation throughout the body, cholesterol levels and metabolism, and that amino acid I mentioned, homocysteine, Juice Plus has 24 separate studies impacting those aspects of physiology that end up leading to cardiovascular disease. And that's really pretty important stuff.
Well, and you know, Dr. DuBois, as I listen to you talk, and of course I've been involved on a daily basis of sharing Juice Plus, myself and my teams throughout the country and the world. And I think the thing that, it's exhilarating when you see people do well, but it's heartbreaking to come across, so many people today that have so many health challenges, but especially children. And I think, if anything, makes me so proud of what I do every day. It's that it does really make a difference, not only in adult health and, as people continue through their lives and age, but especially, seeing children's health, because it just seems to me that that's out of control.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And isn't it wonderful to know that we're part of a company that has given Juice Plus free to over 1 million children around the world for 4 years when an adult in the family becomes a Juice Plus customer. And we're making a difference, and we're monitoring those results, and we're making a difference in those families, over 1 million families.
And that's, something to really be proud of, that the feeling that goes along with, I guess we call it the emotional revenue that happens within our business, but to, see children really begin to handle those difficulties or avoid so many of the difficulties that you see in children. I mean, when I was growing up, I never heard of a child having diabetes. Maybe I lived in a small area, but, every now and then, but not the adult onset type that we see today. And, I don't know a lot about all the terms, but I do, realize that it is happening. I never in my growing up years knew a child that had cancer. And, of course, I've been around a long time, I guess I should say, but, it's just something that's totally unacceptable. And I'm just so proud to be part of, a company that has a focus to truly make a difference there, not only a difference for everyone, but children are special, I know, to the heart of this company and to all of its distributors. Another thing, talking about the research, every now and then someone will ask me, well, who pays for that research. And actually, I've heard people criticize the Juice Plus research saying, well, if the company pays for it and the studies are, not large numbers of people, what do you say to that? Because I know some of it's paid. I think I've heard of, the National Cancer Institute, and there are other areas that I've heard help fund it because they get particularly excited about it. But it's almost like people try to say if the company has any financial involvement, they can control the outcome of the study. But I know you could speak to that.
Right, and essentially every pharmaceutical prescription drug out there, all of the research is paid for by the manufacturer of that pharmaceutical. That's the way it's done. And the researchers are not influenced by the payment source. The Juice Plus payments go to, as an unrestricted grant to the institution, for example, Yale University or UCLA or Stanford or whatever the university is that they are doing the research. The funds go to the college or the institution as an unrestricted grant. The employees of the faculty of those institutions are working for a salary. They're not paid individually for the research that they're doing. They're paid their salary, and the research grants that their skill and knowledge is able to bring to the university goes to the university and not to the individual researchers. But more importantly, the Juice Plus approves the study. We have research requests coming in all the time. Juice Plus accepts some, and they approve the study, the protocol as it's written, and they fund it. And then the only involvement they have is to make sure they spell our name and our address properly in the manuscript. And they do not participate in any other way with the performance of the research. And if people criticize the research because the numbers are small, that's what we call statistical significance. They calculate the statistical significance, the statistical probability that the product was the reason for the difference involved. And if that's greater than 95% probable that it was not involved, that's called statistically significant. And the reason for big numbers is sometimes it takes real big numbers to achieve statistical significance. When you have a product that is so effective, even small numbers can achieve statistical significance. Well, that's the thing that's so important. And if people criticize the research, they're criticizing the institutions from which they came and the institutional review boards that had to approve the research in the first place. If they're criticizing research, they're criticizing the faculty. They're calling them either fraudulent or incompetent, which is absurd. The most important thing to a university is their reputation. That's where they get their funding from, and that's where the alumni is so proud. So the institutions will do everything to protect their reputation, and they would never allow fraudulent or incompetent research to occur. And they're also criticizing the journals in which they appear. Now, we've got over 30 published manuscripts in peer-reviewed journals, some of them the lead journals in their field, like the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, Periodontology, the American College of Sports Medicine, Pediatrics, multiple nutrition journals, Gynecologic Oncology, Molecular Nutrition, and Food Research. I mean, these are world-class journals, but they're criticizing these journals. They're criticizing the editorial boards. Now, each one of these has at least a dozen experts in their field on their editorial board, sometimes as many as 20, and they're criticizing them. And they're criticizing the peer review process, which is 3 experts in their field are mailed the manuscript, they read it, criticize it, and reject it or accept it. And they all 3 have to agree. So they're criticizing all of that, those levels of expertise and integrity because they think the numbers are too small. They're looking for some excuse to say this is bad research. It's good research. It's world-class research, and we're proud of it.
Well, and I, have always been very proud to have that research or be armed with it, you might say, because of the great value of it. But as you're talking, one of the things that just occurred to me, because I have a very large number of physicians within our organization, I've never heard a physician criticize the research, so I'm sure it's because they know the value of that research and how powerful it is. So thank you for that input because, people have ideas, I guess, for all different reasons, but when somebody knows the value of it, and I'm sure that the research is why we do have so many medical professionals in our business today is because of the great value of that. I have a new distributor myself that is actually my dentist, and I brought the periodontal studies to him the other day, and he says, well, now you're speaking to me. He said, before, it was just a story, but the value of this certainly can't be underestimated. So that's very powerful.
It sure is.
As we, talk about all of these things, and we know, the value of what we have because you and I have seen it for so many years now I've been sharing this, and, we really do get to be part of other people's success as far as their results with the product. We get to feel and know that we're participating in that because it's through our efforts that we share it with others. But tell us what you like best about Juice Plus, because I know you're such an advocate for it. You come from such a strong, medical background. What excites you about, you taking it all the time, and Jan and, your family and sharing it with people? What do you like best about it?
It's the people. It's the people, and it's the mission statement. Inspiring healthy living around the world. And Jan and I have had the privilege, as you have, of traveling to many of the countries where Juice Plus is sold. We've been to over 14 of the countries involved with Juice Plus. We've had the honor and privilege to meet and speak with so many Juice Plus representatives. And around the world, every one of them feels exactly the same way. They feel like they're making a difference in the world. Their efforts, what they're doing, is worthwhile and meaningful, and that they are impacting lives at the same time they're earning a living. And what a wonderful feeling that is. And just to be with that, the Juice Plus family. I mean, Jay Martin actually awarded our highest honor, our Founders Award, to the Juice Plus family because it's such a real entity. Juice Plus people around the world are just wonderful. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Well, and it is a blessing. I mean, sometimes I feel like we live in our own bubble of positive energy because our business is one that, not only flourishes from a business standpoint, but as I said earlier, our component of emotional revenue, there's a lot of happiness that goes along with seeing other people do well, both physically and financially, and it is a joy. So, and I know you and Jen both love the product yourselves for your own health and well-being and your families, and so it's nice to know that we have an edge, because that's really what I feel, is that it gives me that edge I can depend on, waking up feeling good every day, and I don't think I was ever like that in my life before Juice Plus came along. You really, we have something very special for people. So I thank you for your input. Anything else you'd like to share as we close this call today?
No, just that we're doing the right thing, and everybody on the line needs to know that they're doing the right thing. Thank you for letting me have the opportunity.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with us tonight, and just know how much we love and appreciate you. Thank you, Dr. DuBois.
Good night now.
Good night, everyone. Great talking to everyone this evening. Good night.